Top 5 tips that you can use in your e-commerce jewelry business today. I'm Justin Thing, a career marketer and an e-commerce store owner myself, and I have found that the right systems help us grow wealthy, stay healthy, and enjoy richer relationships. Now, if you like this topic or topics like this, make sure you hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the bell notification so you can be notified whenever I post. Stay until the very end, because I'm also going to tell you where jewelry businesses often get it wrong with their marketing. Let's get into it. Typically, your customers are on the go, so they're looking at your store on their mobile. Therefore, in your ads, tip number 1 is try running collection ads, because it allows your customer to see your product range at a glance on mobile and click into the collection that is most appealing to them. The second tip to try, this comes from calls that we have with Meta themselves. Try to run carousel ads without any distractions or hands or models. Yes, I know it's standard in the jewelry business to show beautiful rings on beautiful hands and sometimes even in beautiful locations, but try A/B testing a carousel where it is just the product alone on a white background or a transparent background with no other distractions, and see which one performs better. The third tip is to not use catalog ads. Why? Because with iOS 14 and the privacy updates, it's very hard to tell who is interested in what product and what product page they viewed. Therefore, your catalog ads, which relies on that data, is going to be inaccurate and shooting in the dark at best. However, one thing that we are finding works really well for jewelry businesses is the carousel posts. So load up your carousel cards with your 10 bestsellers, make sure you include some of your most profitable products in the collections, and that way you can tell who is looking at what. The fourth tip is, if you are going to use a catalog ad, make sure you use a showcase catalog ad. So the lifestyle video shows up top and the catalog is below. Now, this is really good for prospecting because the prospect will be able to see the video and engage with the tone of your brand and what you stand for without the actual products in the catalog needing to be specific to them. So this isn't a retargeting thing. This is something that you would do when you're prospecting to new customers who you've never targeted before. And finally, run a broad targeting campaign. At this point in time, the artificial intelligence behind Facebook, Google, Amazon, it is so clever. In fact, some could argue that it's even sentient, meaning it thinks and feels like a human. Watch this. Alexa, are you sentient?
Artificially, maybe, but not in the same way that you're alive.
And there you go. That means that the algorithm, or right now the AI that runs Meta's advertising, is so good and knows so much about your customer that you can just tell it to run broad. Don't do any specific targeting. Give it all the room that it needs to learn for itself, and you watch what happens in 30 days. It's going to know exactly what to do, showing to whom, and at what point, and in what sequence, so that you get sales. Now, I promised you some pitfalls to watch out for, so here they are. The first that I see quite often is your API connection between your e-commerce store like Shopify and Facebook isn't properly set up. That means you're relying on pixels, which is kind of so last year. It means that anyone who is on iOS 14 or has switched off tracking ability is stopping your ads from showing to them because, well, your ads are running blind. However, with a direct API connection, you can actually circumvent that and pass what's called first-party data from your store to your ads in real time. Speak to your web developer or your agency or your internal marketer to find out if this is actually happening in your store. Otherwise, you're leaving money on the table. The second thing I see a lot is remarketing with exclusions, like excluding people who have visited or purchased in the last 15 days. I understand the logic of that, but you should definitely test retargeting to people, even those who have purchased something in the last 15 days. Why is that? Because this group of people is so engaged with your brand and receiving all your welcome email flows. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, then watch this video. And chances are they'll buy again because they're excited, or they might be thinking of a birthday or somebody else they can buy a piece of jewelry for. In this day and age, they should have already experienced your brand through your customer experience on site, in the follow-up communications, in the emails, for them to be amicable to buying another product right away. It might be a cross-sell, it might be an upsell. You can't do any of that if you are excluding those people in your retargeting campaigns. The next thing I see is a ROAS, return on ad spend, that's less than 3x. Now, on our calls with Meta, they tell us that anything above 1.5x is okay. But to us, we're used to seeing a 5x to a 30x return on ad spend. And so try to aim for a return on ad spend that is much, much higher. If you're not sure how to do this, try executing the 5 tips I gave you at the start of this video. And finally, when you are running A/B tests and you find a campaign that's working really well, make sure you do not change the budget more than 20% up or down either way more than once a week. Now, I've briefly touched on emails previously, and if you would like to access my checklist of e-commerce marketing emails, the money-making emails, to make sure that you have covered all your bases, then you can find that link in the description below, as well as the link for our email automation course if you're using Klaviyo. This is Justin Thang. Thanks for joining me in this video. I trust that you found this as valuable as your jewelry is. Now, if you like this topic and other topics like it, hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the bell notification so you can be notified whenever I post. This is it for now. See you later.